Joining us now, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. And I want to get first, tap into your knowledge from the Armed Services Committee. What is going on with the MiGs? Because it seems to me now we've got a game of hot potato. The Polish don't want to be the last ones holding them before the Ukrainians get them. We don't want to be the last ones holding them before the Ukrainians get them. What is going on, sir?
Yeah, well, the Poles wanted us to take possession and then give them to the Ukrainians, and the administration balked. I actually personally like the idea because, you know, when the rules of a proxy war are, of course, we're not going to have direct engagement. The American troops are not going to have direct engagement with the Russians, it's like we had in Afghanistan, like we had, quite frankly, with the communists in Vietnam. We didn't directly face Chinese troops or Russian troops, but they sure as heck supplied the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese with plenty of material. War material. So I personally feel supplying the Ukrainians with war material, I mean, they're the ones that were invaded. Putin decided to take this action, this illegal action, this criminal action, and we need to do everything we can to help the Ukrainians ward him off.
What are you hearing in terms of classified briefings, and what can you tell us about how soon we might expect, and if we might expect any time soon, a full assault on the capital, Kyiv, Congressman?
Yeah, obviously I can't discuss anything that way ahead in classified briefings, but I can tell you some things that I read about in the paper, you know, online recently, a few hours ago, that if we want to enforce a no-fly zone, or at least help the Ukrainians enforce a no-fly zone, we need to be providing them with man-pads or the surface-to-air, you know, portable surface-to-air missiles and the Stingers, because the Russians don't want to risk a $20 or $30 million aircraft when the Ukrainians could fire a missile at them that's very accurate, under 18,000 feet. That costs about 100 grand. So that's one of the ways to do it. And I read in a news report that there were scores of these missiles in the hands of the Ukrainians right now. I would like to see hundreds more in their hands ASAP, and also a lot more asymmetrical war material.
And Congressman, just very quickly, the ban on Russian oil imports, presumably a step in the right direction?
It was, but I was disappointed that Joe Biden decided that, you know, we're facing the highest gas prices we've seen in history, and his solution is to turn to dictators who hate us to get oil. Why not unleash the American energy sector, green light the Keystone Pipeline? That's not going to solve it overnight by any stretch, but it's a step in a better step in the right direction. And take off the handcuffs and issue permits, not just leases, but also permits to drill on federal land and offshore, and expedite the liquefied natural gas permits, because if we can supply, we certainly have enough energy here to supply ourselves, but also our Western allies, so we can wean them off Russian dependency.
Congressman Pat Fallon of Texas, thank you so much, sir.